Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we are faced with a new problem and hopefully a new challenge. We want to calculate the area bound by the curve f of x equals x squared minus 4 and the x-axis. Hope you remember the two simple steps we use to handle such problems. The first step is to sketch the curve, and the purpose of sketching the curve, as we have said, is to identify the area of interest, what we are calling R. The second step, of course, is to calculate, and this calculation is by way of integration. So we want to use those two simple steps again to solve this problem. Let's go to the first step, which is to sketch the curve, and I just want to have a sketch of my axis. Yes, so my axes are there. Now what do I need to sketch the curve? Remember, the function is f of x is equal to x squared minus 4. Always look at the sign on x squared. If it's a positive sign, like in our case, then the curve will always be U-shaped. So we know that our curve is going to be U-shaped. The other thing you are going to look out for is the y-intercept, because the y-intercept gives us the value of y where that curve cuts the y-axis. So our curve cuts the y-axis at y is equal to -4. So -4 down there, that's where our curve will cut the y-axis. And we know that our curve is U-shaped. So it's going to look like this. So that's our curve. F of x is equal to x to the power of 2 minus 4. As you may have seen already, we have a new challenge. And the new challenge in this problem is that we have not been given boundaries. So we're going to find those boundaries by equating x squared minus 4 to 0, because at that point f of x is equal to 0. Now if x squared minus 4 is equal to 0, then we can rewrite this then as x squared minus 2 squared still being equal to 0. And as you can see, this is a difference of 2 squares. And being a difference of 2 squares, we can factorize it and say that x minus 2 multiplied by x plus 2 is equal to 0, which implies that x is either equal to -2 or x is equal to +2. So this will give us the values of x at the point where the curve intersects the x-axis. So back to our curve, that point is -2, x is equal to -2, and this point is x is equal to +2, which then means that our area of interest can now be identified, and we are calling that R. We are now through with the first step, which is to sketch the curve. Let's quickly go to the next step, which is to calculate and by way of integration. Area is given by the integral of f of x with respect to x from the lower boundary A to the upper boundary B. Now we have these boundaries A and B, so very quickly let's replace them. The lower boundary is -2, the upper is +2. F of x is x squared minus 4, and that is with respect to x. Now let's go back to the curve. Look at the region R. You realize that that region is below the x-axis, and inevitably this is going to give us negative area. Okay, so if it's going to give us negative area, then what we are going to do is to negate the value of area. Okay, so what we are going to do here then is to say that the area is negative of the integral of x squared minus 4 with respect to x from -2 to +2. Okay, so let's go on then and integrate that integral, integrate that function. We have a negative sign. I want to introduce square brackets, and remember, when integrating we are going to be increasing the power by 1, and then we divide the entry by the new power. So we're going to take x, increase the power from 2 to 3, then divide by the new power 3, minus 4. Now 4 is the same as 4x power 0, so we increase the power by 1, so it's going to be 4x power 1, which is 4x, divide by the new power, which is 1, and that will result to 4x, and not forgetting our boundaries from -2 to +2. We can then go ahead and evaluate this. Start with, let's just have the negative sign outside the bracket. I want to keep the square brackets. Starting with the upper boundary, which is 2. Now 2 to the power of 3 is 8, and so that will be 8 over 3 minus 4 times 2, which is 8. Put that in bracket. Then we subtract. Let's go to the lower boundary. -2 to the power 3 is -8, and that will be -8 out of 3 minus 4 into -2. So I have a number of brackets there. This then will be equal to, remember our negative sign again. So we have negative, I'll drop now the square bracket, negative outside the brackets, then in the bracket we have 8 over 3 minus 8, then minus 8 over 3, that becomes plus 8 over 3, then minus, and -4 times -2 is +8. So minus +8. And that is equal to minus 8 over 3 minus 8 plus 8 over 3 minus 8. Very quickly we can rearrange this into minus 8 over 3 plus 8 over 3 minus 8 minus 8, which is equal to minus 16 over 3 minus 16. Let's apply the negative sign as we open brackets, and that will be minus 16 over 3 plus 16, which is equal to 16 minus 16 over 3, and the value of 16 minus 16 over 3 is 32 over 3. So that is equal to 32 over 3, which is equal to 10 and 2 over 3. We can therefore conclude that the area represented by R is equal to 10 and 2 over 3 units squared. Once again, I sincerely hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share. If you've not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, and as always, I'll be glad to meet you again in the next video. Thank you.